Still yet to give away his fire tip. First tip was great, though.
What?
Shout out to the YouTube crowd as well.
Wait,
YouTube guys watching this tomorrow.
Do you want to see it?
No, not yet. Not yet. Because we're going to our next question in the mailbag. This one's coming in from Jubers. In what situations should I use coverage shading? All right, so the situations I use coverage shading is, once again, on defense, if you push Y, it gives you 4 really big options with the right stick. Over the top, underneath, inside, outside. You've also got sticks, which on third down means protect the sticks. 3rd and 15, they're going to drop to the sticks. 3rd and 18, they're going to drop to the sticks. 3rd and 7, they're going to drop to the sticks. So those are your options. Standard zones just kind of play, over the middle like that. If it's, for me, 3rd and 5 or less, I'm going to push Y and then down on the right stick. That will make my zones play underneath. And hopefully this slant right here could get jumped. Hopefully
he's there, but
he's there to make the play.
I personally think that I find it, wow, I'm fighting for the bread. I find it more effective again with the flat zones. That's like where my brain automatically,
where you see the zones.
My brain looks at it and sees the difference with flat zones versus like hooks or buzz zones a little bit, but
just shaded underneath here.
I'd look at it more, okay, this is something that's going to be for the flat. So I think with the flat, it's going to pinch definitely down and not going to, like...
That's a pick.
Like, that's a pick.
So let's not shade here. So we shaded underneath there. The flat zone got out, made the pick. People say flat zones are broken. Incorrect. Flat zones work how they're supposed to work.
Yeah.
So here we will not shade. Let's see if we get the same or if he drops back. See how he drifts back a little bit? And then he fit the throw in.
He fit the throw in. One more time for the fans at home.
Once again, coverage shading. Why? Down on the right stick. We just caught a pass when we didn't shade to the flat. Let's see if he can jump it. He got a pick already.
See how you see? There's very, very subtle. This is very important. I got to go into replay because, okay, what's the difference between being a championship Madden player and being just an average player? This one little tip. Here's why, right? So watch this. He's in the flat. At this point in the route, the defender Hightower is in the same position as it was when you didn't use underneath coverage,
Correct.
right? The difference is, watch, as the ball's coming into Gore, he attacks the ball. See right there? See how he's literally going after the ball? That's all computer, and that's because we are dictating and telling the computer play underneath coverage. So the difference now is at the snap of the ball here, if I throw the ball here, he gets the flat. He's not breaking on the ball the same. He doesn't attack the ball carrier, and that's the difference.
Yeah, so anytime it's like 3rd and 5 or less, or I expect they're going to the flat, or I expect that they might throw that stick route to Allen, I will shade my coverage underneath. I didn't right there, but if that A route's coming, I'll try and get underneath right there. If it's going to be, say, halfback wheel, which is a popular play, or 4 verticals, I'll push Y, flick up on the right stick. This is especially good against the computer and solo challenges, and I believe this hook will drift back at the snap. First of all, they're going to step back a little quicker than they normally would. Boom, see how they drift
they did.
2 steps.
They drifted.
And look how much longer RB.
Yep.
So RB slot or the tight end, you had to wait to throw that ball because of the shading. So 3rd and 10 or more, I'll shade over the top. Right there, I did not shade.
Again, the difference. The difference there.
The difference. And it's inches, but it adds up over the course of a game. So
it does.
I think you should be shading on, I would say, 60% to 80% of your zone coverages because
look at 58.
Some guy earlier was asking, how do you stop double drags? I say call cover 2 and shade underneath and just make the tackle.
So look at 58. Look at the difference here, okay? So you could say, oh, at the snap of the ball, they both drift, they drift. But 58 recognizes Gore because he's in that area in the field. Now what that opens is I can throw that ball to Allen and fit that ball in a lot easier compared to when you had the over-the-top coverage. Show it one more time.
Here is over the top right here. So I pressed Y and then I flicked up on the right stick for over the top coverage. Let's see, backed up there. He's not interested in Y's route. Why would he be interested in Y's route?
He does the Daria. And he does the Daria swat where he just...
So on 3rd and 12, you can't be interested by Frank Gore's route. He's not a high priority target.
I would also say this is a question that I get from time to time, and I think it's a pretty good question.
Yes.
People will say, how do I play bend but don't break defense? I want to play that New England Patriots style defense and put everything in front of me and just never give up the big play.
I want to beat every team in the league but the Giants. How do I play more like the Pats?
Wow. You really think that? They're going to play this year. You know it's going to happen.
We'll see.
Tom Beatty and the Patriots undefeated, 19-0. So what I would recommend is if you play a cover 3, cover 4 style defense, and you just play over the top coverage all game long and just give everything underneath. And you live to fight another day. You hope that you get a fumble. You hope that they get a bad read. I mean, that's what you're trying to do with this defense. It can be very, very successful. And the part that's frustrating about it when you're playing against this style defense is I want to throw these deep corners. I want to throw these big angle routes to the tight end on 4 verticals. But when you play over the top coverage, you take that away from me, and you dictate how I play the game. And when you do that as a defense, you win.
Remember, if you're going to play with the Patriots, a lot of QB spies. The other thing is a man-to-man coverage. I read that in the chat. I think that was Ben Hove. All right, here we go. So that's kind of over the top underneath coverages. If I'm going to play man-to-man, I don't do this as much as I have done in years past. It's not an adjustment that I'm making a ton this year. But say you were killing me with slants across the middle, I'd push Y and then right stick to the left to shade inside. And hopefully Brown, once he's done pressing Johnson, will try and fight to get inside. He might not. He really jumped that route right there when you threw that. It's not as good as it was. I would say Madden 12, you really saw it without routes.
I don't see it as much this year. Just do it again. Try it again. What you'd see in previous years is like you'd literally see the press, and then the defender would like jump inside.
Yeah.
Like right there, he was inside, but that was like the press leverage.
Right.
So yeah, I don't really use it that much with man-to-man.
The problem is this too. So say I shade inside, which is why right stick to the left. Everyone is going to shade inside that is in man-to-man coverage, in my opinion. So Brown will, but so will Chung, and his route is going outside. So you can individually shade routes, which is like Y, A, X for Andre Johnson, and then you can shade left or shade right. So you can individually shade coverages. So if it's just one slant that's happening to beat you, but I mean a slant is pretty consistent. But
designed to beat man.
I don't spend my precious pre-snap resource time in man-to-man shading. I used to shade corner routes, used to shade out routes, but I don't really do that anymore. So that's I'm definitely, though, a huge proponent of shading your zones over the top underneath.
That's right.
But I used to be more of a man shader, inside, outside, but I don't really do that anymore.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, here we go.
Are we ready for my Fire Flame tip of the week?
Are you ready to drop it?
Yeah.
How about this, though, first?
Okay.
Is there a good time to use double move